you mentioned that this move is going to take away Eloy Jimenez's glove, and this is something that I was very, very happy with, and why I think that this move is going to be super beneficial for the Chicago White Sox. I think that we've all had enough of these left field experiments that have been going on. It's been sort of a revolving door between Andrew Vaughn. You had Pollock in there for a little while. You've seen Eloy try and man the position. Lurie Garcia's been trotting around out there from time to time. It's been too many left fielders. According to Pedro Grifol, he had a conversation with Eloy and said that Andrew Benintendi is here to play left field, and he plays it well. I think that's a net positive for our Chicago White Sox. There was a comment that was made that could be construed one of two ways, that Eloy Jimenez may see some playing time in right field for your Chicago White Sox in the 2023 season. Now, that made me want to gouge my eyes out with a fork, just sort of reading that through the computer screen, because obviously, as you said, this was an untelevised event. I don't know why these are untelevised either, Steve. I share that grievance with you. I think that fans want more White Sox content, and on a January day, give me a press conference at least. It makes no sense. But back to Eloy Jimenez manning right field. I got a little mad online today, and I went to I got a little mad online today, and I went and I wrote about it because it was very therapeutic for me to express my displeasure with the idea of Eloy Jimenez ever trotting around right field. And over the course of me writing the article, which you can find over at oddtapsportsnet.com, it started to, kind of bake in that, you're probably not going to see a lot of Eloy Jimenez in right field regardless, because you, have Oscar Colas potentially coming up and joining the Chicago White Sox at some point this year. My baby boy's been working hard out there to maintain, his physical form and his great defense out in right field, Gavin Sheets. And then you also potentially may have a free agent acquisition that may or may not be made. We'll get to some of that talk later. But Steve, thoughts on Eloy Jimenez potentially patrolling right field? Sounds like a bad idea to me. It's a fucking bad idea.
My thoughts are this. They're very simple. They're very concise. I'm old enough to remember when Jose Abreu was taking ground balls at third base, and people had a little mini uproar over it. Did Jose Abreu ever see third base during a major league game for the Chicago White Sox?
No.
Okay.
No, he did not.
Next question.
Well, I will put this into perspective here, Steve. As of right now, we don't have a bona fide right field option, and I will say that it's sort of a question mark heading into this year. I'm a little nervous that Eloy is going to talk his way into getting a glove and going out into right field, and I really hope that that's not the case with this team. It does not benefit us to have Eloy Jimenez even start out there one or two games in April while you're waiting for a Colas call up or just fucking around with it. I'd rather see Billy Hamilton. I'd rather see Gavin Sheets. I'd rather see, if you have to stick Andrew Vaughn out there for a game, I'd rather see anything than Eloy Jimenez potentially injuring himself and losing the best bat that we have in the middle of this lineup. That's what makes me nervous, because we've seen crazier things.
Yeah, I'm just not concerned about it at all, to be completely honest with you. I feel like that was just kind of one of those things that Pedro Grifol said publicly just to kind of be nice to Eloy. I mean, I think he expanded very much on his position that Eloy is going to be the full-time DH with this team. I think that's pretty clear here at this juncture. So I feel like, and you know this as an owner of two humans, that sometimes you say things just to try to make people feel better that are close to you. I feel like it was just kind of one of those things.
Yeah, I'm still a little nervous, Steve, that we might see some stuff that we don't want to. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to give him reps, a la Jose Abreu, like you said, in practice. training, all that good stuff. I just don't want to see it on my baseball team in 2023 because that would mean that we just basically moved Eloy Jimenez out of position, and it would really irk me a little bit. He needs to be the DH, and I want 500 at bats from Eloy Jimenez this year. I don't know about you, but I think that with 500 at bats or plate appearances for Mr. Jimenez, you might see 30 plus home runs come off of his bat, and you want the ball to go far because you know if the ball goes far, the team's going to go far. So there you go. That's my rationale here. Maybe you're the one talking me off the ledge, but that gave me a miniature heart attack when I read that today.
Multiple sources have confirmed that when the ball goes far, the team does indeed go far as well. And you mentioned, Eloy getting 500 at bats to hit 30 to 35 homers. Listen, there might be some guy in some deep, dark corner of the interwebs that was invented by Al Gore that may have even said at some point that he thought Eloy was going to be the first player in franchise history to hit 50 homers. I don't know who would say something like that, but I feel like it might be out there.
We might have to roll the tape back and figure out who said that. I can't remember, but we might have to roll the tape back, figure out who said that, because that would be wonderful. This franchise desperately needs power right now, especially losing Jose Abreu